Alright, so I had to rush out to get the other videos done because the Capitals and the Canadiens both play today, coincidentally enough at the same time, but because the Red Wings don't have any games today, in fact they don't have any games for a while, I was like, you know what, let's make a chill commentary, just talk about the Wings, talk about what's going on, because not only is the fantasy hockey season over, and I have kind of a funny story, I wanted to talk about that, but also, we had ourselves some pretty interesting news regarding Filip Zadina, Filip Hronek, and Jakub Vrana, 3 Czech guys on a Red Wings team that has all the love in the world for their Czechs. But before we get into any of that, thank you to those in the previous Red Wings video who commented Moscow. If you want a chance to be featured in the next one, stick around to the end. I don't know if this is going to be a long video, so maybe sticking around to the end of this one is going to be great. But we had ourselves a Red Wings schedule that saw some really just oddly tight games against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Thomas Greiss and Jonathan Bernier coming out here, standing tall. Sure, one of them won and one of them lost, but what we had was a very spectacular series of games over the past few weeks. Sure, the Red Wings aren't winning as many as you would want them to, but that's okay. They're not supposed to be winning. We said this at the very beginning of the year, but the little victories, man, the small things that you can look at and say, yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Those are the things that you celebrate for a Red Wings team that wasn't supposed to do all too well anyway this year. You celebrate when the team holds the Columbus Blue Jackets to a 1-0 shootout win. You celebrate when you're like, yeah, Thomas Greiss made so many saves against the Lightning, and he won in the shootout. How crazy is that? The Sunday game against Tampa Bay, where the Lightning ended up winning 2-1, was the last day for, I believe it was ESPN's fantasy hockey going around. And I'm not actually in a lot of the fantasy hockey leagues. I'm not doing one this year, but one of my friends actually is. He was in a league, and because Sunday's game, Tampa-Detroit, was the only game going on the entire night, he was like, hey, Gio, you gotta help me out here. You gotta choose my players for me. I have a few roster moves left. I'm gonna drop a whole bunch of guys. I have a few guys left that are free agents that I could pick up. Who do I take? And he was like, okay, Filip Zadina, Nemesnikov. Do I go Barclay Goodrow or Pat Maroon? Maroon's got all these physical traits. Luke Glendening was available, so I took him for shots. And I was like, you know what? Go Zadina, man. You have one more pick left. Go Filip Zadina. Choose this guy. And he was like, you know, I don't know. He's been kind of cold lately. And I was like, trust me, you already have Jakub Vrana on your team. Go Zadina. Pick this guy and watch him score you a ton of points. And he scored 1 goal, so there you go. There's the points out there. And unfortunately, that was the only goal the Red Wings scored. But hey, I mean, Jonathan Bernier only allowed 2, which was really good for him. But still, kind of interesting how everything aligns this way. Sorry about going off on the tangent. I just wanted to share my story about boosting the stock of the Red Wings over here. But we have some news coming out of the International Hockey Championships, because when it comes to those Czechs that we so dearly love to awe at, we had ourselves an article from hokej.cz talking about the Czech Republic's overall World's Championship roster. Lo and behold, we have 3 Red Wings on the team that are scheduled to making their appearances there. And hey, it's not really too surprising. It's Hronek, it's Zadina, it's Vrana. Let's go over what exactly was said here in the article, translated from Czech to English. They had an entire few paragraphs talking about who's going to be joining the squad. We will have ourselves Extra League finalist Liberec goaltender Peter Kavaka, defenders David Musel, Andre Vitasks, a few other guys as well, and then we have some NHL talent too. We can count on Dominik Kubalik and Kampf of the Blackhawks, Hronek, Zadina, and Vrana of the Red Wings, Cheadle and Hajek of the Rangers, as well as Radim Simek, says Peter Nedved, the GM of the national team. It will be very difficult for us, but we will try to ensure that all NHL players arrive as soon as possible. They also had interest in Pavel Zacha from the New Jersey Devils. By the way, we spoke about the Devils a few days ago. Crazy good hockey team. Oddly enough, I have so much hope for the New Jersey Devils going into the long-term future, and Pavel Zacha is one of those guys. He was not able to represent his country for health reasons. Lucas Dostal of the Anaheim Ducks system was interested in representing. Unfortunately, his team did not release him. So that says to me that there is indeed an aspect that says, okay, you're only allowed to go if your NHL team allows you to go. And if the Red Wings are going out there and saying, okay, Stevie Y, can we go? Can we go to the Worlds? And he's like, okay, go. Go. Zadina, Hronek, Vrana, go out there and represent your country because, hey, there's nothing really else you can do. You played for a losing squad all year. Not you, Vrana, but everybody else. You guys played for the Red Wings, so why not go out there, get some World Championship experience once again, experience maybe winning a medal or two. Or two? No, not or two. Just a medal in general. We'll see how exactly Team Czech Republic is going to go out there. I mean, they have a pretty okay roster. It's just, obviously, you have some other guys on other teams that are going to go out there and do their thing. Interesting to note that Jonathan Berggren is already on Team Sweden, so we'll see if these guys are going to be able to match up against each other and if it's actually going to work out well. We actually did have an international tournament before the season began. I don't know if you remember this, but we had ourselves what was the... Oh man, I can't recall the name of the cup, but it was like some beer company in Finland sponsoring a cup that had Team Russia, Team Finland, Team Czech Republic, Team Sweden. Team Russia's team was U20. They didn't want to send a full-on pro roster of men to that championship, but the U20 squad went out there and they actually won, I believe. But Jonathan Berggren was out there for Team Sweden. We had Hronek and Zadina, I believe, out there for the Czech Republic. Actually, I know Hronek was there for sure. I'm not too sure about Zadina. I could be wrong about that. So they're going to be doing their thing again for the international squad. And I'm interested in seeing how exactly these guys are going to be deployed because we had Filip Hronek this season put up 23 points in 54 games on the blue line as a defenseman. Of course, we know Hronek has been given the keys to the car this year in terms of the Red Wings blue line, and that's probably going to be the case until Moritz Seider makes his debut with Detroit soon. But on a national team, do you still go out there and you say, hey, go ahead and run your thing, do your business out there? Filip Zadina had 19 points in 47 games this season, which sounds like a disappointment, but it's really not. The guy was pretty nice this year. His two-way ability has really shined. And besides, Zadina was like just under a point per game in the Czech League this year. He's probably going to go out there and do some pretty good things for the international team, especially if he goes out there playing with Jakub Vrana, who has been a very, very good highlight of the season, despite the fact that he's only played 9 games with the club. Now, in those 9 games, he had 7 points. Really good production from Vrana. Out here scoring some clutch goals, making some clutch plays. He's produced everywhere he has gone. And hey, I don't see the Czech international team being an exception to that. So check out the World Championships, I guess. That's kind of the main point of this video, just talking about some of the guys. I said it at the beginning, man. This is just kind of a rambly type video. No real deep analytical dive. This is not a case study or whatever. Just me talking about the Red Wings because, hey, why not? Talk about what I think makes me happy. So talk to me in the comments what you thought about this topic over here. Zadina, Hronek, and Vrana all going to the World Championships, maybe playing against Jonathan Berggren, who knows. Also, if you made it to the end of this video, comment in the comment section below, Karjala Cup, because I finally remembered what that beer sponsor was for that tournament where the Russian U20 club actually won. So that is our keyword, Karjala Cup. There we go. I said Karjala the whole time back when we made videos about the cup when it was going on, but no. J's in Finnish are not juz, they're yuz, so it's Karjala, isn't it, right? Talk to me in the comments what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video. 99, and bye.